From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Wednesday, July 25th, the feds look into reports of abuse at the Delaware Psychiatric Center. Local workers go to D.C. to thank Congress. And a donation to help seniors beat the heat. Here are the details. There's word of a federal investigation prompted by abuse allegations at the Delaware Psychiatric Center, the state mental hospital in WDEL. The facility has been visited this week by investigators from the Centers for Medicare Medicaid Services, an arm of the Health and Human Services Department. The investigators are looking into whether the hospital is in compliance with treatment standards required for Medicaid and Medicare funds. There have been reports that attendants had allegedly abused patients and allegedly had retaliated against nurses who reported the abuse. County Council has approved some routine maintenance for the county's development plan. Land Use Department Chief Charlie Baker says the revisions deal with economic development, affordable housing, and transfer development rights.
Well, I think this has set us on a good path for the next couple years, where we really need to focus on implementation in the next couple years. And then 3 years from now, we'll start the cycle again and really start working on what we need to improve again.
Baker says the plan to construct a sewer system in the central core of southern Newcastle County will go ahead as planned, despite concerns from some council members. Councilman Bill Powers of Townsend says the county must look to the future and hopes this mandatory 5-year update lays the groundwork for the next few decades. A woman who had 61 dogs seized from her home last week won't be charged with animal cruelty. Karen Dillon of Minquadale still faces other charges, including the federal offense of interstate transportation of dogs without veterinary certification. But so far there's been nothing to warrant cruelty charges. Dillon says she drove the animals to Delaware to prevent them from being put to death at a shelter in South Carolina. SPCA officials say they hope to offer the dogs for adoption. Well, Delaware is feeling the heat when it comes to global warming. That's the assessment from U.S. PIRG, which says Wilmington's average temperature in 2006 was 2 degrees warmer than the historic average. Nick DePasquale with Delaware Audubon Society says they're asking lawmakers to cap carbon dioxide emissions from power plants and raise fuel efficiency standards for cars. He says you can help reverse the trend by recycling, driving hybrid vehicles, and using energy-efficient appliances. Another sign that Campaign 08 is off to an early start. WDEL News continues in a moment.
As you look for your college experience, make sure you look at Wilmington College, your key to success.
A 48-year-old Bear resident wants to succeed Matt Dent as state insurance commissioner. Democrat Gene Reed, who's currently manager of consumer protection enforcement in the insurance department, says his top priority, if elected next year, is building what he calls Dent's legacy of helping consumers with an emphasis on health care. Dent is leaving the office to run for lieutenant governor. The 70 cents an hour increase in the federal minimum wage got a first-hand show of support from some Delawareans yesterday. WDEL's Carl Konevsky reports.
ACORN, the Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now, led a group on a bus trip to the nation's capital to celebrate the raise. Darlene Battle says the increase doesn't affect Delaware right now because our minimum wage is higher than the national mark, but it's important to support all workers.
There's other states, ACORN states, that they have not met that mark yet. So, but eventually, in year 2009, when we go up to, $7.25, then it would affect Delaware.
Battle says the group headed to Washington to thank Congress for the long overdue increase.
We have a lot of family who, at $5.15 an hour, and utilities highs, rent high, mortgage high, everything else is going up, and that just wasn't enough. And it's about time that we get this increase after 10 years.
She says the next fight is to make the minimum wage a livable wage, which stays ahead of inflation and can help sustain a family. I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 a.m. WDEL.
An arrest warrant is out for a Middletown man wanted for felony home improvement fraud. County police say 31-year-old John Stabe cashed an $11,000 down payment check to complete a sunroom last year, but never came back to do the job. A woman living in Harmony Woods says she signed a contract with Stabe's company but hasn't seen him since. Police are asking anyone who knows where he may be to give them a call. Some Wilmington seniors will get help dealing with the summer heat. Delaware's Building Trades Council donated 55 electric fans to Mayor Baker's annual fan drive, which distributes them for free to elderly city residents in need. To date, the drive has also received 80 fans from Wilmington Trust, 50 from Delmarva Power, 20 from Marshallton United Methodist Church, and $250 in donations from private citizens. If you'd like to donate a fan, you can call any of Wilmington's fire stations to make arrangements for drop-off. Late inning heroics for the Phillies. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
You could spend your money at the gas pump, or you could spend it on those sexy pumps at your favorite store. Let Dart do the driving.
I do all my shopping with Dart. It's the most convenient way to shop the outlets, and it saves me money.
Now save even more. Get up to 40% off with a discounted Dart card. Online at dartfirststate.com or at your local Acme Market.
At this rate, with the money I save riding Dart, I'll have a new pair of shoes every week.
Travel smart. Choose Dart.
I'm Peter MacArthur.
I'm Melanie Armstrong, and here are Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour.
The most complete coverage of the news that matters in Delaware. Every weekday morning, 5:30 till 9 on 1150 AM WDEL.
In WDEL Sports, Aaron Rowan smacked his 14th home run of the season in the bottom of the 8th as the Phillies rallied past the Washington Nationals 4-3. The win was the 4th straight for the Phils, but they're still 5 games behind the first-place Mets. Jimmy Rollins hit his 20th homer of the season, and Ryan Madsen hurled 1 1/3 scoreless innings for the win. The Phils and Nationals play again tonight. Coverage on WDEL starts at 6:30. Powered by Brian McFall's 3rd homer of the Blue Rocks road trip, Wilmington topped Salem 7-4 yesterday to even that series at 1-1. McFall drove in a season-high 5 runs with a 4-hit game that provided Rowdy Hardy with enough runs to chalk up his Carolina League leading win, 13th overall. The Rocks and Avalanche close out that series today. And Greg Wolf, a 35-year-old mortgage broker and member of Cavaliers Country Club, won the Delaware State Golf Association Open Championship at Hartfield. Wolf won his first DSGA major tournament title on the 3rd hole of a sudden death playoff. Wolf, an amateur, shot a 1-under par 71 in the 3rd round to get into a 4-man playoff with Dave McNabb, another Cavaliers member, and Steve Cutler and Chris Gray, both of Hartfield. Cutler held a 5-stroke lead going into the final round, but skied to 5 over par 77 yesterday. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast. Partly sunny today, high 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 65. And tomorrow, clouds and sun, a high reaching 88. Thunderstorm likely on Friday. Get news updates throughout the day. Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 1150 AM WDEL or anytime right here at WDEL.com. I'm Chris Carl. Thanks for watching.